How's it going, everybody? Just wanted to do a little video on how to clean a skate bearing. So there's a lot of videos out there. I thought I'd just do my own because, I don't know, the more the merrier. There's so many different ways to clean a bearing. Some of them are a lot more effective than others. Some ways I wouldn't even do it just because of the solvents that you have to use with it. For example, like using a citrus-based cleaner, you'd have residue stuck within there because the citrus cleaners, I guess, I don't know, they leave like a lemon or orange residue or whatever inside of that, and then you have to wash it out with water. The problem with that is it'll rust, right? You have to dry it off immediately, so I don't even like playing with that. I actually used Zepp citrus cleaner, and on a couple Bronsons I just cleaned yesterday, and I used it. It foamed up. They were clean and good, but then after I was like, I had to rinse them, and then I rinsed them in the water, and then I was just like, oh shit, this is sketchy, because I know they can rust really quick, so I didn't want to screw around with that. So I dried it, but then after I was like, just to be sure, I ended up putting it in an ultrasonic cleaner, which I'm not going to talk about in this video, but yeah, I throw it in this ultrasonic cleaner, which shakes the bearings to shit, and then it vibrates all the crud out of it. And then I used brake cleaner the second run after I used the water, and I rinsed it because I was all paranoid that it was going to rust and there would still be residue. So I used brake cleaner, and it went through like literally like 3 times I sprayed it, and it was still crap. So yeah, I think I'm gonna stick with brake cleaner for that in terms of solvent. But I should say, this video is gonna be how to clean a bearing without using any solvents whatsoever. You don't have any cleaner around, you can still get this bearing clean. Step 1. Well, first, your tools you're gonna need. This is basically the only tool you need right here. Something to pop the shield off. And I hit dabs, so I just happen to have my dabber tool. So yeah, if you look here, there it's a big ball, so we got 6 balls here. If I'm just gonna match this with in between one of the 2 balls there, so I know that I can pop the shield off. Just like this. There you go. Do it without damaging it, and as you can see, I did so quite well, quite successfully. Shield's pretty clean, as you can see there. We got this set aside, and now we got our 6 ball bearings. Oh, it's actually starting to spin again. But it's still a shitty bearing. Still sounds gross. I just went skating in some dirt to test my bearings out, and it fucked up right bad. So, well, not all of them, just a couple. So I'm not cleaning all of them. I'm just going to clean this one, just for a demonstration purpose. Yeah. So now that we have the shield off and the balls exposed here. All right. So what you're going to do after you take your shield off is you're going to want to take the what do you call it? The nylon retainer out. So what you're going to want to do is use this blunt end here, fairly pointy. You don't want anything too sharp. I don't really like using pins because they're kind of sharp. Like this is sharp, but it's kind of flat on the end, so it's perfect for it. And I have another side here, but I found it's a little too round. It's kind of too big. Actually, it doesn't really work. So the other one's perfect. Okay, so you're going to pick a spot in between one of the 2 balls, doesn't matter which. I'm just going to go here, you're just going to push down until it pops through. So let me just show you there. Boom. I'm going to turn around and pop the other side. Here we go. And now you have some exposed balls there. And I just thought I'd rearrange the camera there, sorry. I kind of thought my hand was in the way, so I'm gonna move it now. Moved it. Alright, so as you can see, it's still pretty grimy, and this retainer is disgusting. Look at all the crap that's in there. So all that crap that's stuck in there just rubs against your balls over time and just scores it slowly. And these balls have impurities in them. They're not smooth anymore. And then obviously there's friction, there's shit. So I'm super OCD about my bearings. I've gone through so many different cleaning methods. Like I've gone through like every cleaning method in the book. It's ridiculous. You're gonna want to make sure you got your Zep cleaner. Citrus degreaser. I'm gonna spray this. Oh yeah, one more thing you could use is a Q-tip to clean your bearings. So I'm very non-sanitary. I should be wearing gloves or something. If you have gloves, wear gloves. I just don't care. It's citrus cleaner, so I mean it's not that big of a deal. So I'm just gonna make sure the whole thing gets soaked, and then spray it one more time actually. Okay, and now I'm gonna get a Q-tip here, soak it up. And I'm gonna use that to clean each section here. Oops. So I floss it through. Oh yeah, it's setting up nicely. That's definitely clean. And don't want any, make sure you don't get any threads stuck from the Q-tips in there. If you do, ensure they are removed before reassembling this bearing. Because one tiny little hair is going to screw the entire bearing up. Literally. Been there, one little hair. You're like, what? I literally just cleaned these bearings. Why are they still messed? It'll be that tiny hair. Trust me. That's why I'm so OCD about it. Been there, done that. Don't want to be there again. That's why the videos I'm making this video today. I just want clarification for some people that might want it as well. Okay. For the OCD people mostly, who really want their bearings running like new again. The tap and clean it. I'll be back. Okay. So now we got our ball retainer completely dry. Air dry, if you will. Blow on it if you need to. But yeah, that looks perfect. And then I'll just set that aside. And now we have to disassemble this bearing. So what you're going to need to do is grab your tool and put all the balls into one side. So I just push the bearing, all the balls to one side. Usually I do all the work towards me. If anything F's up, the balls are going towards me and not away. I can actually have a chance to catch them. Okay, so there's a real bad impurity I can see there. So anyway, once you get them all to the one side, you should be able to push the inner race right through on an angle, and it should pop them all out. And there you go. See that? Okay. Now we have a completely disassembled bearing. And what we're going to do is clean each segment. But this part, we are not using solvent. I only use solvent to clean the retainer because it really sticks in there. So the retainer is good, as you can see. This is good too. There we go. So two parts are completely clean. Now we're going to take our outer race and just paper towel. Just going to floss it clean. Alright, and as you can see, it doesn't take much work. Part's completely clean. Not much dirt came off, a little bit. So that's clean. Now let's do the same thing with the inner race. There we go, now we got another part completely clean. Make sure you got no hairs on it. Okay, now we're going to do that with all of our balls. So grab a ball. Look at, there's some impurities already on there. Let's get rid of those impurities. So we're going to go like this. Wipe down the ball. Look at that, that was just from one ball, all the dirt. So as you can see, it makes a difference. And yeah, so after you wipe it down, that'll be your clean ball right there. And then you just want to put that off to the side. Put it in the outer race. That's how you're gonna reassemble it later. Not advertising for Bones or anything, but their big balls that they do make are an incredible bearing. For the price, $40 Canadian, probably 25 American, 30 American, probably 30 I guess. It's a good bearing. It's so worth the money. I don't know why some people are like, oh, just get the reds. Like, reds are good when I say that for beginners. If it's your first board, sure, but this is way more advanced than your regular red. These 6 balls make a tremendous difference in speed, acceleration, and durability. Okay. So now that we have all 6 balls clean there, we are ready for reassembling. So let's reassemble. Okay, so what you're going to do here, make sure you get your 6 balls. Oh, sorry. A new lubrication method I'm using today. This is actually just being tested today, because I'm being super OCD and I don't want to over lube my bearings. So, got this nice and shook up. Of course, we're using Bone Speed Cream. And the only thing I'm actually going to lubricate is the outer race. I'm going to put a nice drop of lube in the outer race, and I'm just going to reassemble the bearing. So, drop the fat drop. Boom. Ooh, that's a juicy drop. Look at that. Let it just glaze the inside. This is so excessive, I know. So, I lubed my race here, and it looks like it's pooling a little bit. Let's just let it keep flowing around. I think the lube has been evenly distributed. Okay. And I don't know if you've noticed, some people be like, oh, make sure you put it on right. Don't get mixed up the shields. Well, pretty sure Bones makes all of their retainers double to hold 2 shields. They use the same outer race pretty well for everything. You just change it up. Some of them have 2 shields. The Labyrinths have 2, but most of them have 1. And I prefer 1, honestly. When I have 2, I find it holds dirt more. So anyway, the lube's in there. You put the inner race into the outer race like that, facing towards you. That's how I do it. I'm going to do that again. Oops. I'm going to take my balls and I'm just going to drop them in there. Oh, and by the way, I have a towel under here because this makes this part extremely easy with the towel. Trust me, if you don't have the towel, it's so much harder. I've literally, this is the hardest part of the entire process, I'm telling you. The hardest part, and it'll just make you go frickin' ape shit sometimes. So you get your 6 balls. And you are going to hold this in place. See that? I just pushed all of the 6 balls into one side. Now with the pressure, I'm going to use this and pull them down towards me. It's even harder now. Okay. I'm going to try it this way. Pull the balls towards me and then push outwards. Yeah, that's how you do it. Pull the retainer. Have all the balls towards you. Pull the retainer. Have the 6 balls in there. Pull the inner brace towards you. And with that force, push the first 2 balls closest to the edges, like closest to the top part, upward like that. See that? Now I should be able to just put the rest in there, evenly distributed. That. See? Now we've almost got a completely rebuilt bearing. And it's been lubricated with an extremely light amount of oil. Because I'm super OCD and I don't want to over-lube it. Every time I do, I screw it up. So now, you're going to take your retainer, take your 6 balls, 6 ball bearing, make sure everything is evenly spaced. Work its way in when it gets there, but so see this? You're going to line it up. So the 6 holes, just going to line them up like this. Some people do it from the other way, but I find if you just do it like this, the gravity will jiggle itself into place perfect. See that? It's already in place. All 6 of them. Now I'm just going to hold it down like this and click it in. See that? And now I'm going to spin. Distribute the lubrication. Now we just got to put our shield back on. Just like that. Now your bearings are reassembled. Completely clean, dry, and only the slightest amount of lubricant so you don't over lubricate your bearings. And they roll nice and smooth. So, let me just really work that lubricant in there. As you can see, it is spinning much, much better than before. Kind of upset that I abused them in the dirt though, because these things were, well, yeah, like they were all spinning amazingly before. Like, insane. Over a minute each. Not in my hand, but in the thing. But yeah, that looks pretty good. I think I like the lube in the outer race technique there. Never seen anyone else use that. So yeah, that's just an easy way to lubricate your bearing there. And hopefully you can use that to lubricate your bearings for next time. Alright, take care guys.